Welcome to the What's New Symantec Endpoint Protection 14.2 presentation. In this module, we will review new product features, updates, and related product functionality. This is the module overview. We'll be discussing the following topics: cloud integration enhancements, multi-factor authentication, IPv6 support, SEP communication module, web security service or WSS integration, client authentication, and Mac client updates. Any information regarding pre-release Symantec offerings, future updates, or other planned modifications is subject to ongoing evaluation by Symantec and therefore subject to change. This information is provided without warranty of any kind, express or implied. Customers who purchase Symantec offerings should make their purchase decision based upon features that are currently available. The anticipated product go-live date for Symantec Endpoint Protection 14.2 is June 2018. This is the Cloud Integration Enhancements topic. The Cloud Bridge Connector allows a SEP administrator to synchronize communications between an on-premise SEPM and the Security Cloud data center. Once enrolled, advanced policies can be assigned via the Cloud Console. Customers using replication can now enroll their SEPMs in the cloud. The cloud enrollment process is initiated on a SEPM in the main site. For sites with multiple management servers, you only need to enroll one of the management servers. Additional management servers are enrolled automatically. After enrollment completes, wait for cloud synchronization to occur on the main site. Then initiate replication so that partner sites receive the cloud enrollment data. On the main site, existing SEPMs and newly added SEPMs will install the Cloud Bridge services. However, the Bridge service is only active on the management server used to enroll in the cloud and is responsible for communication with the cloud. On replicated sites, SEPMs receive enrollment information during replication, but Bridge services are not installed on SEPMs in replicated sites. Replicated sites depend on the replication schedule to receive cloud policies and commands. SEP clients do not currently connect directly to the cloud server, but instead receive all communication and updates through the SEPM. SEP now integrates with Symantec Content and Malware Analysis. Symantec Content and Malware Analysis automatically escalates and brokers zero-day threats for dynamic sandboxing and validation before sending content to users. It allows for analysis of unknown content from one central location. This malware analyzer uses a unique multi-layer inspection and dual sandboxing approach to reveal malicious behavior and expose zero-day threats, and safely detonate suspicious files and URLs. SEP integration allows administrators to submit suspicious files detected on SEP client machines to the CASMA server for additional analysis via the Cloud Console. Submitted files found to be malicious are automatically added to the SEPM's fingerprints file for blacklisting. Integration requirements include on-premise CASMA appliance version 2.2.1.1 or higher. Content analysis and malware analysis must be on the same appliance. SEP must be configured as a single site without replication with SEPM enrolled in the Cloud Console. To learn more about Symantec Content and Malware Analysis, use the link included above. Using Auto Upgrade to upgrade SEP clients will now automatically install the SEP hardening feature set on the client, making it ready to utilize advanced optional SEP hardening policy controls. 14.2 also adds support for 32-bit SEP hardening client. With the release of SEP version 14.1, the SEPM with a Cloud Bridge Connector is required for client events to reach the cloud. The bridge handles cloud authentication and communication. The client is unaware of cloud connection and uploads events to SEPM. The bridge then uploads events to the cloud. If the client cannot connect to the SEPM, client events will not be visible in the Cloud Console. For Release 14.2, with a goal to provide more immediate incident response and monitoring for off-premise roaming clients, the roaming client feature was added. There is no configuration option for this feature. Everything happens automatically after SEPM's enrollment with Security Cloud. The SEPM requests a connect token from the cloud upon enrollment and delivers it to clients through a SEPM policy. The client turns into a roaming client if it cannot connect to SEPM. In this situation, clients authenticate and communicate directly with the cloud. Critical client events will be uploaded to the cloud directly for immediate incident response and monitoring. A client reverts to a regular client when the connection to the SEPM is restored. This is the multi-factor authentication topic. Multi-factor authentication is a security procedure that authenticates users through more than one validation method. One of the more common use cases is two-factor authentication, combining something you know with something you have or with something you are. Endpoint Protection Manager now supports new methods for administrator authentication, Symantec VIP, or Personal Identity Verification or Common Access Card, PIV/CAC, smart cards. Symantec VIP is an authentication option for SEPM administrators. VIP has hardware or software-based options to securely authenticate users. On the SEPM side, there are two principal steps required to enable VIP authentication. First, import a VIP certificate into SEPM, and second, enable VIP two-factor authentication for individual administrators. The first step is to import a PKCS certificate into SEPM. In SEP Manager, navigate to Admin, Servers, select the SEPM server, configure VIP authentication. Browse to the PKCS file location. These certificates are exported from the VIP Manager console. Certificates must be in a PKCS number 12 format with a password. The VIP certificate is stored on disk when imported, not in the SEPM database. Type in the key store password and click the OK button to enable VIP authentication. The VIP certificate only needs to be imported into one SEPM. Replication partners and SEPMs in the same site will automatically receive it. The next step is to enable VIP two-factor authentication for individual administrators. Navigate to Admin, Administrators, add an administrator or edit an existing administrator. Select the Authentication tab. Check the box to enable two-factor authentication using Symantec VIP. The SEPM username must match the username in VIP. When an administrative user logs into SEPM with VIP two-factor authentication enabled, the user password required is now the password plus the VIP security code. VIP supports the following consoles: the standard SEPM console, remote, web, and reporting consoles. Push mode for token verification is supported, and if more than 5 notifications are sent, VIP push is temporarily locked for 60 minutes. Learn more about Symantec VIP at the link included above. A Personal Identity Verification, or PIV card, is a United States federal smart card that contains the necessary data for the cardholder to be granted access to federal facilities and information systems. A Common Access Card, or CAC card, is the military equivalent. PIV card criteria was established by Federal Information Processing Standards, or FIPS, Publication 201. FIPS 201 was developed to satisfy Homeland Security Presidential Directive 12, also known as HSPD-12, requirements for a common identification standard for all federal employees and contractors. Smart Card-based authentication is now an authentication option for SEPM administrators. Similar to the previous process, there are two main steps for enabling Smart Card authentication. First, import the required certificates into SEPM, and second, enable Smart Card-based authentication for individual administrators. To configure Smart Card authentication, in SEP Manager, navigate to Admin, Servers, select the SEPM server, configure Smart Card authentication. Click Browse to select the required root and intermediate certificate files. If required, specify the paths for optional certificate revocation lists, which are used for SEPMs with no internet access. To log on to the Symantec Endpoint Protection Manager web console with Smart Card authentication, you must restart the Symantec Endpoint Protection Manager service and the Symantec Endpoint Protection Manager web server service. The next step is to enable smart card-based authentication for individual administrators. Navigate to Admin, Administrators, add an administrator or edit an existing administrator. Select the Authentication tab. Check Smart Card-based authentication. Click Browse and specify the path to the authentication certificate file location. When logging into SEPM with Smart Card authentication enabled, the process will be as follows. The administrator inserts a smart card into the card reader. On the SEPM login screen, click the Options button. Check the box Log on with Smart Card. Note, the password field is removed. Enter the username and click Log on. The user will be prompted to enter their smart card PIN. Smart card must stay inserted into the reader while the administrator is logged in. Administrator will be logged out within 30 seconds if the smart card is not inserted. Supported SEPM consoles are the standard SEPM console, Java Remote Console, Web Console, and Reporting Console. This is the IPv6 support topic. Each device on the Internet has a unique Internet Protocol or IP address, which defines it as a unique destination. With the growth of the Internet and the explosion of connected devices, it became clear that the standard used for device addressing, IPv4, which uses a 32-bit address space, would eventually exhaust its supply of available unique numbers. Amongst other advantages, IPv6, which uses a 128-bit address space, was created as a solution to meet the challenge of IPv4 address exhaustion. IPv6 is intended to eventually replace IPv4. Symantec Endpoint Protection has been introducing support for IPv6 incrementally over previous releases. In SEP 11.x, IPv6 was used as a general protocol type in firewall rules. IPv6 network traffic could be completely blocked or allowed. In SEP 12.1, further support added for IPv6 included firewall and IPS engines can decode and block traffic. Protection offered on IPv6 traffic in SEP 12.1 was the same as that on IPv4, and logs will show IPv6 addresses. SEP 12.1 RU5 and newer can create rules for IPv6 addresses. You can create a firewall rule to block IPv6 traffic to a system on the network while allowing the same IPv6 traffic to another system. SEP 14.2 introduces enhanced IPv6 support for most functions, including SEPM to client communication, all functionalities supported, single or dual stack clients, and clients include Linux, Mac, and Windows. Location awareness, being able to set policies based upon network protocol. SEPM and client to internal live update servers. SEPM and client to Symantec backend communicates via IPv6, which includes live update, reputation lookups. Backend services are IPv4 only today. IPv6 can be used in the following technologies: network threat protection, including firewall rules, built-in rules, protection and stealth, and exclusions, custom IPS, and AV and Insight. This is the SEP Communication Module topic. What is the SEP Communication Module? Communication Module is a replacement for Sylink. The Sylink.xml file stores client global communication settings and can be used to restore a client to a managed state. So why replace Sylink? The new module offers multi-platform support, including Windows, Mac OS X, and Linux with a common codebase, making it easier to maintain. And new features can be supported on all other platforms quickly. It also allows better support for FIPS and common criteria compliance, and IPv6 support, and is based upon a modern codebase offering additional capabilities such as expanded logging. SEPM can communicate with both Sylink and communication module clients simultaneously. The communication module will still use the Sylink.xml file for client communication settings. This is the Web Security Service, or WSS Integration, Client Authentication topic. SEP 14 RU1 MP1 introduced the WSS Traffic Redirection Integrations Policy to enforce proxy auto-configuration, or PAC, file assignment via SEP. By adding WSS traffic redirection to Symantec Endpoint Protection, you can automate web traffic redirection to Symantec Web Security Service and secure the web traffic on each endpoint that uses Symantec Endpoint Protection. SEP 14.2 expands on this capability with additional enhancements collectively referred to as Client ID Authentication. Client ID Authentication is comprised of two components: the Local Proxy Service, or LPS, which is a lightweight proxy service within the SEP product. It's called Traffic Interception Port in the policy, and the Client ID Agent for Authentication, or CIA. It's called the WSS Integration Token in the policy. Within the SEPM Integrations policy, you can now configure the client authentication. Note that the defined port number defaults to 2968, but can be changed to one that is greater than 1024. The WSS Integration Token is a GUID-like string generated from within the WSS console. So, what is different? Without client authentication configured, all web browser traffic will route through the WSS proxy based on the PAC file configured. With client authentication configured, two things change. Web browser traffic uses a locally cached PAC file hosted by the LPS. A token and pre-shared key are provided to CIA, which generates an assertion to identify the individual user logged in. This allows for user-specific proxy settings to take effect. Please note the following considerations for client authentication. Both Proxy SG and WSS are required to leverage the client authentication options. WSS is used to generate the integrations token and define user context-specific settings. This is a Windows-only feature. Mac clients ignore the settings. Client authentication is part of the base SEP client install package. There is no separate component for WSS traffic redirection. Unmanaged clients cannot use this functionality. There must be a SEPM-defined policy in place. The URL noted must be allowed through firewalls and proxies. This is the Mac Client Updates topic. SEP 14.2 now includes Mac settings in the firewall policy. With this addition, you now have the ability to manage policies via SEPM and provide out-of-the-box connection rules. Use granular policies to configure connections such as ports, IP address, and application rules. Support includes dynamic firewall rules that change automatically based on network changes such as DNS and DHCP. And when used in conjunction with IPS, it automatically blocks the attacker's IP from connecting to the Mac. On the client side, you can enable or disable the firewall via a toggle switch, if allowed by policy. All SEP client installs of 14.2 will include the firewall by default. The firewall is configured through the firewall policy in SEP Manager. As with the Windows firewall, you have the ability to create custom firewall rules as well. Built-in rules take precedence over custom rules. With the 14.2 release, the WSS Traffic Redirection, or WTR, has been implemented in SEP for Mac client as well. Browser support includes Firefox, Chrome, and Safari. Like the Windows client, WTR for Mac applies and enforces a PAC file for browsers running on the Mac OS device. The integrations policy is shared between Windows and Mac clients. As such, if you wish to control them differently, you will need to assign a different integrations policy based upon group or location.